What if I told you that Mexico is on the verge of an economic transformation that could redefine its position on the global stage? In the last decade, we've witnessed nations rise and fall in the ever-changing economic landscape. But Mexico stands out as a country poised for unprecedented growth. With its strategic location, abundant natural resources, and rapidly growing industries, Mexico is carving out its place among the world's wealthiest economies. In this video, we'll dive into 5 compelling reasons why Mexico is about to get rich, and how these factors are reshaping its economy. From its booming manufacturing sector to its dominance in trade with the United States, Mexico's path to prosperity is not just a possibility, it's becoming a reality. But this rise to wealth isn't without its challenges. Organized crime, inequality, and political risks still loom large. Yet, these obstacles haven't stopped Mexico from positioning itself as a powerhouse in the global economy. Stick with us as we uncover how Mexico's youthful workforce, innovative industries, and advantageous trade deals are accelerating its journey to economic success. But don't skip ahead. We'll reveal why Mexico's rise isn't just about wealth, but about reshaping the future of the global economy. And before we dive into these 5 game-changing reasons, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Economy Explorer for more in-depth videos on global economic trends. Key drivers of Mexico's economic growth. 1. Strategic trade relations. Mexico has quietly overtaken China to become the United States' largest trading partner, with bilateral trade reaching over $790 billion in 2023. This isn't just a statistical milestone, it's a testament to Mexico's ability to capitalize on shifting global trade dynamics. Mexico's proximity to the U.S., paired with the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, has streamlined trade processes and deepened economic integration. This agreement, which replaced NAFTA, ensures tariff-free trade for key industries, boosting exports of automobiles, electronics, and machinery. But the story doesn't stop at the U.S.-Mexico has cultivated a robust network of trade agreements with more than 40 countries, making it one of the most globally connected economies. For instance, its participation in the Comprehensive and Progressive Agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, CPTPP, has expanded its reach to growing markets in Asia and the Pacific. With this level of access, Mexico isn't just exporting goods, it's exporting its economic ambitions. 2. Manufacturing powerhouse. Step inside a modern assembly plant in Monterrey or Guadalajara, and you'll see why Mexico is often called the factory of the Americas. Companies like General Motors, Tesla, and Samsung are heavily investing in Mexico, driven by the nearshoring trend. As businesses seek alternatives to Asia for manufacturing, Mexico offers an unbeatable combination: lower labor costs, proximity to the U.S., and a well-trained workforce. In 2023 alone, Mexico's manufacturing sector contributed 18% to its GDP and generated millions of jobs. The automobile industry, in particular, is a shining star. Mexico is the 7th largest car manufacturer in the world, producing over 3.5 million vehicles annually. With electric vehicle production on the rise, Mexico is positioning itself as a global leader in green technology, securing its future in a rapidly changing global market. 3. Natural resources and energy potential. Mexico's wealth doesn't just lie in factories, it's hidden beneath its soil. As the world's largest silver producer, Mexico supplies 23% of global demand, making mining a critical pillar of its economy. Additionally, proven oil reserves of 7.3 billion barrels place Mexico among the top oil-producing nations. What's even more exciting is its potential in renewable energy. With ample sunlight and wind corridors, Mexico is scaling up solar and wind energy projects, attracting billions in foreign investment. This diversification not only supports sustainable growth, but also shields the economy from the volatility of global oil markets. 4. Demographic dividend. Mexico's population is its most valuable asset. With a median age of just 29.3 years, Mexico has a young, energetic workforce that sets it apart from aging economies like Japan and much of Europe. This demographic advantage translates into a growing consumer market with increasing demand for housing, technology, and luxury goods. The burgeoning middle class, which expanded by 12 percentage points between 2008 and 2018, has become a driving force behind domestic consumption. These are not just workers, but consumers shaping Mexico's economy, creating a self-sustaining cycle of growth. 5. Infrastructure and innovation. Infrastructure is the backbone of any thriving economy, and Mexico is investing heavily in its future. Projects like the Tren Maya Railway and the expansion of ports such as Veracruz and Manzanillo are creating better connections within the country and to international markets. In 2024, Mexico allocated $44 billion for infrastructure development, a clear indication of its long-term vision. On the innovation front, Mexico is nurturing its tech ecosystem. With hubs in cities like Monterrey and Guadalajara, often called the Silicon Valley of Latin America, Mexico is fostering startups in fintech, software development, and artificial intelligence. This blend of traditional industries and cutting-edge innovation ensures that Mexico remains competitive in the global economy. Socioeconomic factors fueling growth. A young, dynamic workforce. What if the key to Mexico's economic future lies in its demographics? While many countries face the challenges of aging populations, Mexico stands out with a youthful and rapidly growing workforce. With a median age of just 29.3 years, Mexico is brimming with potential. This vibrant demographic isn't just about numbers, it's about opportunity. A young population means a steady stream of workers to power industries, drive innovation, and contribute to social security systems. Consider this. By 2030, Mexico's working-age population is expected to outpace that of other emerging economies, creating a competitive advantage in attracting foreign investment. Companies setting up manufacturing plants and tech hubs see this young workforce as an asset, offering both cost efficiency and adaptability to new technologies. But this isn't just about economics, it's a story of ambition. These young professionals are shaping the future of Mexico, one job, one invention, and one idea at a time. What will happen as this generation enters the middle class? That's where the next piece of the puzzle comes in, the rising middle class. In 2008, only 30% of Mexicans identified as middle class. Fast forward a decade, and that number has climbed to 42.7%. This is more than a statistic, it's a transformation. A growing middle class means more people with disposable incomes, fueling demand for goods, services, and housing. Think about it. Every new car purchased, every vacation taken, and every appliance bought adds fuel to the economic engine. The ripple effect is profound. Small businesses flourish as middle-class spending grows, and industries like real estate, retail, and technology benefit from this expanding consumer base. More importantly, this isn't just an economic trend, it's a social shift. Families are sending their children to better schools, accessing improved health care, and breaking cycles of poverty. As Mexico's middle class grows, its economy becomes more resilient, less dependent on exports, and increasingly driven by domestic consumption. Education and social mobility. Education has long been a cornerstone of progress, and Mexico is no exception. Over the past 2 decades, literacy rates have climbed, and access to higher education has expanded. By 2023, Mexico boasted a literacy rate of over 95%, with increasing enrollment in STEM fields and technical programs. Why does this matter? Education is the foundation of an innovative economy. Mexico's growing emphasis on vocational training and university programs ensures a pipeline of skilled workers ready for high-tech industries like aerospace and software development. But education isn't just about preparing the workforce, it's about breaking barriers. For many young Mexicans, access to education means a chance to escape poverty, join the middle class, and contribute to a thriving economy. With this progress, however, come challenges in addressing inequality and access gaps, issues we'll dive into next. Challenges to sustained economic growth. Crime and organized violence. What happens when a nation's greatest strengths are overshadowed by internal struggles? In Mexico, the shadow comes in the form of organized crime. With one of the highest homicide rates in the world, 25 per 100,000 people in 2022, this issue goes beyond statistics. Entire industries, particularly in regions controlled by cartels, face disruptions due to extortion, theft, and insecurity. These criminal activities deter foreign investment and create a climate of fear, forcing companies and local entrepreneurs to think twice about expanding operations. The cartels are not just economic liabilities, they erode trust in public institutions. When law enforcement agencies are undermined by corruption, the rule of law weakens. Imagine being a business owner who pays taxes, yet is forced to pay off criminals for protection. For Mexico to truly thrive, addressing this cycle of crime and corruption is essential. But security isn't the only factor. Let's examine how inequality adds another layer of complexity. Economic inequality. On one end, there's an expanding middle class driving economic growth. On the other, millions still struggle to make ends meet. Mexico's Gini coefficient, a measure of income inequality, stood at 0.48 in 2018, far higher than the OECD average of 0.32. The wealthiest 10% of Mexicans control over 42% of the country's total income, while the poorest 40% share less than 10%. This gap isn't just unfair, it's economically inefficient. Why does this matter? Inequality limits social mobility and stifles consumer spending among lower-income groups. It also fuels discontent, creating fertile ground for social unrest. A country where opportunity depends on your zip code can never unlock its full potential. While education and social reforms are making strides, closing the gap remains a monumental challenge. But inequality isn't Mexico's only barrier. Political stability plays a significant role in economic confidence. Let's look closer at the political landscape. Political instability and perceived corruption. When it comes to politics, perception matters. While President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, AMLO, has focused on anti-corruption measures, critics argue that some of his policies undermine democratic institutions. For example, his controversial attempts to reduce the independence of Mexico's electoral watchdog raised eyebrows internationally. Political tensions between federal and state governments, along with election-related violence, also hinder progress. The issue isn't limited to governance. Political uncertainty impacts business confidence. Investors, both domestic and foreign, hesitate to commit resources when the rules of the game seem subject to change. For Mexico to secure its economic future, a stable, transparent political environment is as critical as its trade agreements and workforce. Infrastructure gaps. While Mexico's infrastructure investments are noteworthy, the country still faces significant gaps. For instance, poor road conditions and limited rail networks in rural areas create bottlenecks for industries like agriculture and mining. Ports such as Veracruz and Manzanillo, while crucial to trade, require further modernization to meet growing demands. Infrastructure challenges also affect citizens directly. Limited access to reliable electricity in some regions hampers local businesses and discourages entrepreneurship. In a global economy driven by connectivity, these shortcomings are more than inconvenient. They're costly. Each of these challenges is formidable, but none are insurmountable. The question is whether Mexico can rise above these obstacles to fully realize its potential. How it tackles these issues will determine the nation's place in the global economy. What steps must Mexico take next to turn its challenges into opportunities? Future Outlook: Mexico's Path to Wealth. Picture this: a factory floor buzzing with activity, workers assembling the latest smartphones and electric vehicles destined for global markets. This is not a scene from China. It's happening right now in Mexico. As companies seek alternatives to Asia, nearshoring has become a game changer. Mexico's proximity to the United States and its extensive trade agreements make it an ideal destination for multinational corporations. In fact, foreign direct investment reached $35 billion in 2023, with much of it flowing into manufacturing and logistics hubs. With the right policies and infrastructure, Mexico could transform into the world's next major manufacturing powerhouse. While oil has historically been a pillar of Mexico's economy, the future lies in renewables. Mexico boasts some of the best conditions for solar and wind energy, particularly in regions like Baja California and Oaxaca. By investing in renewable energy, Mexico has the potential to not only reduce its carbon footprint, but also export clean energy to neighboring countries. This shift could redefine its economic identity, positioning the country as a leader in sustainability, while diversifying its revenue streams. As the middle class expands, domestic demand is also set to soar. By 2030, consumer spending in Mexico is projected to grow by over 40%. This isn't just about buying more cars or smartphones, it's about creating a self-sustaining economy where internal demand drives growth. Mexico's tech ecosystem, particularly in cities like Guadalajara, is thriving with startups in fintech, artificial intelligence, and software development leading the way. If this trend continues, technology could become one of Mexico's largest economic sectors by 2030. As Mexico navigates this path toward wealth, the potential is immense, but so are the stakes. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Economy Explorer. Check out one of the suggested videos for more insights, and thank you for being a part of our journey.